What's up? It's your boy D Change coming at ya with another Daily Dave. This one's for Wednesday, April 22nd, 2020. And where did the time go? It is now late at night. It is practically a throwback Thursday, and I have just emerged from a rabbit hole that I've gone really deep into. Now, do you ever have one of those nights, and I've probably talked about this before, but you ever have one of those nights where you're looking for something and then you end up completely somewhere else because you just decided to dive down something that piqued your curiosity, or like it was super nostalgic and you had to go chase it? So this is what happened. I'm considering a new computer build. So I'm on this site that helps me pick out PC parts and customize my build. It's pcpartpicker.com. Now, I'm trying to figure out, because I'm like, I don't know, maybe I'm a completionist or I just want the record. I'm trying to figure out when I built computers for myself and for my friends. And so I went through like Facebook or something looking for specific posts, right? Specific posts where I could see like, oh, hey, I built this computer for my friend or whatever. So just so that I can get an idea of like what parts I chose. I don't even know why I wanted to do this anymore. That's the crazy thing about this. Like I went back. Now that I'm trying to remember why this happened, I can't remember why. And this is normal for me. So yeah, I tried to chase down some sort of piece of information. And because of me chasing, old Facebook info, I started running across like old moments that were very nostalgic. And I guess one of them just happened to be a video that my friend had made about all of us in 2015 going to OC Japan Fair to see this idol group called Musubism perform. Now, if you don't know anything about this group, and you probably don't, because they're pretty much ultra obscure. They were an indie idol group, didn't have that many fans. I mean, granted, most idol groups are domestic products, as in the sense that like their audience is predominantly domestic, if not entirely domestic, because it's really hard to be a foreign Japanese idol fan. Like if you don't know Japanese, you don't have connections in Japan, it's all you can really do is hope that they give you nuggets of stuff to like experience, but most of the time that's not going to be the case. So they're just one of those groups that happened to like come to the States multiple times, and really they're part of this like larger push of like cool Japan and all that stuff. So in a way that's kind of what happened. But yeah, it was a really cool vlog, and it just reminded me of like, oh my gosh, I love their music so much. And the sad thing is like when I lived in Tokyo, I followed this group. Like I went to their lives, I went to like small events they had, and I went to their disbandment concert with my friends. And it just sucks, Like I mean, the members are still around, and you can follow them on Instagram, and one of them's married now. My favorite one, actually. And it's crazy, but it's like oh my gosh, But because of that, like, yeah, I went down this rabbit hole to try to find this one specific song that they sang, because it's not even their song. It's a song from the 90s that like a hybrid like female male punk rock group like sang. They're called a Jitterin Jin, and they wrote a song called Natsu Matsuri, which means summer festival. And yeah, it's great. It's a really good song. And then it was covered by like an all-girl punk rock group called Whiteberry in 2000, and they disbanded as well. But Musubism did like a cover of that song in like, I don't know, 2015, 2016. But when they performed it in front of us, it was really cool, because OC Japan Fair was like in the dead of heat of summer. and that was just an incredible song to sing, especially since they like updated it for like modern instruments and pop and all that. But it was super hype. Like one of their super fans from Japan flew over to just to support them, and we basically befriended this guy, and we all joined in on cheering the girls on. And then even when like we would go to Japan and like I moved there, I saw him like a couple times, and it was really cool. It was just nice to like to have that kind of sense of community, you know, especially for like a smaller group where um no one knows who they are. They're out there just trying to do their best and all that. And I totally understand why people like the indie group scene so much more, purely because you just get a better fan experience. But the downside to that is, from a business standpoint, it's very difficult, and that's probably why after about 4 years or so, 3 or 4 years, no, it was only like 3 years, the group decided to disband. So yeah, it was tough times, man. But the sad thing is, like, I spent so much time trying to find a video where they actually sang that song, because in the vlog we only got like maybe 5-10 seconds of it, and this is a song I don't think they've sung like many times. Like there's other songs that they'll sing at like certain Tokyo Idol shows, even before they recorded their first single. Like there were specific songs they would always sing, and one of them was like everyone knows that song. Like it was like they're super original. But this one song, Natsu Matsuri, I think they might have done it especially just for a certain handful of performances, if not even less. I don't dare to say like it was special for us, but like that's the thing. I can't like, I mean, granted, I'm not on like Japanese social media, so, and I don't even know if people would be able to find this out. But yeah, I was searching YouTube and using Google, and that's not a lot. So admittedly, I don't know. This might just be a purposeful dead end for me. But man, it it's just one of those things where I'm like, I really really want to find this, and I couldn't. And it just kind of reminds me of how, even though there's the idea that like the internet is permanent, and that because of this day and age of like information archival, we'll have a running tally of history, or we'll have a running record of history for so long, or like it's so much easier to record things now. But at the same time, I think because so many people can pick up a camera and just record something, or there's so much content coming out, there's so much creative stuff happening, that like it's so easy to get lost in the weeds as well. And so, you know, maybe you are like, the 5,000th person to do a certain song cover, or, dress up and do a dance cover to a specific song, but then, you're one out of 5,000 or whatever. You're not going to be there. There's like less of a sense of everyone knows about this one major thing, right? Granted, there is an illusion to that, because the reason why everyone kind of knows about something is because everyone talks and they share it. So for me, it's like my curated social media will talk about certain things, and that's why I hear about them so much. Whereas, you could be a close friend of mine, or you could even be living in the same city as me, and you won't hear the same things, purely because of the way you curated your social media. And so it's all about the algorithms and the curation of your feeds, and it's like a personalized experience, right? Which arguably is pretty good, but we've seen plenty of cons with that too, in the sense that like we're not seeing, I guess, programming is no longer controlled by like central units, so to speak. You can see it in the breakdown of kind of like mainstream media, and how people are moving to alternative sources. And yeah, now like it seems like when you grow out of like the younger generation now, you're even more lost than like our parents and our grandparents, because I don't, well, okay, I don't know, maybe because sometimes like I'll watch Twitch streams of like people who are basically in their early 20s, and they use so much like slang and vernacular that I'm not like super aware of, and I'm like, what is this? what are they talking about, But I think I've been plugged in the internet long enough, and in kind of like some of the younger culture, that it's not too hard to figure out, right? But yeah, I can totally understand like the amount of overwhelm someone would have these days, of like how many worlds are there out there, how many communities, how much crazy like stuff do you not know about. And I think it's only, I don't want to say it's a bad thing, it technically isn't, but that's only going to keep happening, right? um and man, just thinking about like VR, and like kind of like diving into like the Matrix, basically having alternate realities purely because you can recreate experiences through a neural network or something like that. Those sci-fi movies, man, they yeah, I don't know if I can say that they're timeless, but it's just that's definitely something people have been thinking about for a while. So it's super interesting. But anyway, yeah, just ended up going on this trip down memory lane, and then just wasted more time by watching like Evangelion is streaming on YouTube. The movies, the rebuild movies from Studio Kara, not the originals, not the original TV series from Gainax. But they don't have subtitles, so if you don't understand anything that's going on, you're gonna be super lost, because those movies are just like starting in the middle of the second one, everything goes crazy. So don't. Maybe I kind of regret posting about it now. It's like maybe you won't want to watch it, but yeah, man, it's just one of those nights where you just go like, whoa, what happened to the time? But I don't know. Sometimes that's like life too, right? Sometimes you might spend your whole life like looking for something, and like treasure, so to speak, the One Piece or whatever, and you may or may not find it. That's crazy. There have been shows about this stuff, I don't know if you've ever listened to a podcast called Mystery Show, but I enjoyed the concept. It was literally like people would have these premises of like, oh, there's this one thing that existed because of celebrity, and I've never been able to find it again, and they kind of try to do this like investigative piece on unveiling its truths and secrets. And sometimes the payoff is really good, and sometimes it's lackluster, and I guess that's real life. Like in my case, there might not be a proper high quality copy of a full performance of Natsu Matsuri by Musabism, and that's a reality I might have to live with. But I might need to go hit up all of my friends that went to OC Japan Fair and see if I can find this somewhere, or even my old hard drives. I don't know. Like I remember a bunch of us were trying to like record to keep it as a record. So there it is. That's what I got for today, and that's why I'm just like, whoa, kind of exhausted from this mental exercise. But let me know in the comments if this is something you've gone through. If you wasted plenty of hours and plenty of nights, lost a lot of sleep because of stuff like this. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this Daily Dave. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.